Hello, my name is Sofia Schizas. I am an artist based in Cyprus, and today is the 7th of November 2024. I would like to thank Stan from Art by Artists for this interview. I'm really delighted to share my world with you all. Answering the first question on how my background has impacted me on how I see the world and create art. I am of Cypriot and Lebanese Armenian origin, and I was born in Nigeria along with my other two siblings. I lived there until I was 10 years old, where I came to Cyprus to continue my education in school. Once finished, I moved to the UK to complete my BA degree in Fine Arts. And then I started my nomadic adventures. I've lived in Spain and the UK before returning back home to Cyprus in 2018. Being brought up in 3 different cultures has inevitably affected and inspired me in many ways of seeing the world and creating art later on in my life. To find my path in my art practice, drawing inspiration from these cultures was very enlightening, but at the same time, it did confuse me a little bit. I felt misplaced for a great part of my young adult years. This enduring notion of being lost was very visible in my artworks that I did during university years. Coming back to Cyprus was a difficult decision to make. It took me some time to adapt, but in the end, I came to terms that home, that feeling of misplacement that I went through in the past was really not me accepting that a different and more simpler way of life is what I was searching for. And I found it here in this island. This actually has shaped my current line of working. I paint, and I mostly use oil paint and oil pastels when doing works on paper. I also do sculpture as well, using wood to create the ideas that I have in mind, almost like an extension of my paintings and the works on paper. The style of work that I do is, I'd say, geometric abstraction, but I really don't like defining things and putting terms in my work because it conditions me in many different ways. So I decided that it would be better for my practice to actually concentrate on the act of creating the artwork and actually feeling content and satisfied with the results. Obviously, my surroundings do help because I don't have that pressure from the art industry, or perhaps I just decided not to affect me in that way. Just concentrate on the actual act of doing the work and, being in tune with the kind of materials that I use, that making sure that they resonate with the ideas or kind of inspiration that I get when doing the work. Nature does inspire me a lot. Living on an island and within a village is quite relaxing. The walks by the seaside, hiking on the mountains and taking nature trails do help me see life and the world with a different perspective. in a simpler way, which manifests in my current line of working. Answering the second question, what are my biggest influences? Well, I really like many artists and to get a lot of inspiration from them. And I also truly admire the exceptional work of my fellow peers. But I'd say my biggest influences are Philip Gaston, Agnes Martin, Etel Adnan, Giorgio Morandi, and Greek painter Yannis Moralis. Answering the third question, what I am focusing on right now. At the moment, I am focusing on building up my portfolio and continuing from where I left off. 4 years ago, I became a mother. My daughter Olympia is a very active toddler now, and as a personal decision that I took when I was pregnant with her was to slow down my art making activities and dedicate more time in raising her. I wanted to be present for her in her early years of life, especially to create an embracing bond between us and make her feel confident from a young age that I would be present for her at any stage of her life. It was a decision that was really worth it. She taught me so many things. I learned a great deal with her. So at the moment, I'm back and forth between work, home, and studio time, which I forgot to mention earlier. It is located on the ground floor of my house. It was a storeroom that my parents used, and they kindly gave it to me to make my space there. At the studio, I'm organizing my work from previous years, making lists and stocking with materials and stretching my canvases and preparing for new work. Question number 4. What is the biggest challenge of being an artist? Well, that is a golden question, I believe. Many artists have their own personal challenges, but I think we all agree on a few common points. The biggest challenge of being an artist, I believe, is to be heard, to be seen, to be appreciated, and to make an actual living from your work. Also, very important is managing time in harmony to find the moment to create work. Answering question number 6, what advice would I give to my younger self? I feel I would advise my younger self to be true to myself, to trust the process and keep on working, following targets and not letting anyone or anything divert me from those. Question number 7. Do I listen to music or have any type of background noise while I work, or if I prefer complete silence? Well, since I live in the countryside, it's almost impossible to be in complete silence. Obviously, nature has its sounds. So, and besides, I really don't like complete silence. When I work, I like listening to music, almost background music. I don't like it very loud music. So I like listening to jazz music, classical piano music. I also enjoy listening to synthwave music and also alternative rock, grunge music, which is the music that I grew up with. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not very picky about music. It's just I don't like it when it's too loud. Answering questions 8 and 9 together, what's the best reaction someone has had to my artwork? And what do I hope people take away from my artwork? Well, contentment, I believe, is a reaction that fills me with joy and satisfaction. It makes me feel like I've achieved a good piece, you know. But obviously, every one of us is different. We all perceive things differently in our own manners. So I really don't... I'm not worried about people's reaction. As for what I hope people take away from my artwork, would perhaps be curiosity and playfulness. There are certainly different ways of seeing and viewing things and life in general, but a simpler approach is perhaps also a good option to have in mind. Thank you so much for your time and allowing me to share my world with you all. I really hope you enjoyed listening to me. And you can find me on Instagram as Sofia Schizas, and I would be happy to see you there. Thank you.